Two men from Birmingham have been arrested on suspicion of terrorism offences relating to activities in Syria. They were held at Heathrow Airport this afternoon after flying to the UK from Istanbul. They're both 21 and are being questioned at a police station in the West Midlands. France's First Lady is to stay in hospital where she's being treated for exhaustion after a magazine accused President Hollande of having an affair. Valerie Trierweiler has been the President's partner since 2007. He's complained about having his privacy invaded, but hasn't denied having a relationship with an actress. Our correspondent, Steve Schofield, is in Paris.
He will, whether this, he'll say, private life, and a week or two, this will be no longer in the press and you can get audit. But I think it will have, nonetheless, damaged his standing, because I think it damages his authority and his image.
A new report is warning that more people will be obese by 2050 than previously predicted. The National Obesity Forum is calling for public health campaigns similar to those tackling smoking to raise awareness. It also wants GPs to take a more active role in monitoring people's weight. And two brothers have been jailed for masterminding a counterfeit operation in their printing business in Birmingham. Amit and Prem Kara used specialty paper, ink and foil to make more than £1 million worth of fake £10 notes. We're talking about the Ballon d'Or, which hopefully you will know the announcement before the end of the programme tonight. Most money is on Ronaldo. Frank Ribery, Don, could he sneak up behind?
I'd like to think so, but I think it's probably unlikely. I think the money's probably in the wisest place. We shall see. The FA have reminded Newcastle manager Alan Pardew of his responsibilities after he was caught swearing at Manchester City boss Manuel Pellegrini on camera in yesterday's game against Manchester City. Meanwhile, City's Samir Nasri will be out of the game for the next 8 weeks after a tackle by Matthew Yanga-Umbiwa is in the same game. He said on Twitter, "Thank you for all your kind words and overwhelming support. I suppose it's kind of good news that I'll be out for around 8 weeks." Neil Warnock has rejected claims also made on Twitter, this time by Crystal Palace's Jason Puncheon, calling the former Leeds manager's integrity into question. Puncheon responded to Warnock after the ex-Sheffield United manager criticised the winner's penalty miss in a 2-0 defeat at Tottenham on Saturday. Warnock has said, "If it's been suggested that I've done anything untoward, I can confirm I most certainly haven't. The matter is being addressed with him directly on my behalf." One line of transfer news for you this evening. The Argentinian international midfielder Jonas Gutierrez joins Norwich City on loan from Newcastle United until June the 30th. Laura Robson and Heather Watson are both out of the Australian Open. Defending champion Novak Djokovic and top women's seed Serena Williams have both made it through in Melbourne. And finally, Marco Fu has just beaten Judd Trump 6 frames to 5 to reach the Masters Snooker's quarterfinal.
Thank you. Welcome to Drive with Caroline Barker and Peter Allen. Leinster are using David Cameron's attempt to win support for the controversial expansion of fracking. To do that, he's announced tax breaks for councils in England are willing to approve projects in the area. Campaigners say the incentive is enough to bribe the local authorities.
Local authorities, though, will be able to keep 100% of the business rate from an exploration site instead of the usual 50%, which could add up to £1.7 million a year. The process of drilling for shale gas, which uses high-pressure liquids to fracture rock, has met strong opposition from environmentalists concerned about small earth tremors and water contamination. Prime Minister visited a site in Gainsborough in Lincolnshire earlier.
Shale is important for our country. It could bring 74,000 jobs, over £3 billion of investment, give us cheaper energy for the future, and increase our energy security. I want us to get on board this change that is doing so much good and bringing so much benefits to North America. I want us to benefit from it here as well.
Ben Wallace is the Conservative MP for Wyre and Preston North, an area where there is thought to be a substantial amount of shale gas. He said the incentives laid out today shows that local communities were being offered crumbs from the table.
The Treasury has recognised the important link between community and benefits from shale gas. Unfortunately, the small amount of business rates on offer are crumbs off the table when compared to the massive tax that the government is planning to take in the long term. If the government's going to take 62%, we certainly can get more than the 1% that's on offer, and I would hope it climbs up towards 5–10%.
Critics are pointing out that the French energy giant Total, which has confirmed plans for an exploration in Lincolnshire, can't do it in France because fracking is banned there. So let's have a look at why that might have happened in France. And also we're going to speak to Robert Gatlis, Director of Energy and Marine Geoscience at the British Geological Society. They're pretty neutral on this issue, but they give us some of the facts, which is essential so we can all make the judgments. But first let's speak to José Bové, who is a French MEP and Vice Chair of the European Parliament Committee for Agriculture and is from the Green Party. Good evening, Monsieur Bové.
Good evening.
So tell us what persuaded France to say no to fracking.
Well, you know, when some company as Total tried to find shale gas in south part of France, in my area, all the local population begin mobilization about what will happen with fracking, hydraulic fracking, and what was to happen for the water. And this was really a very big mobilization. As that, 3 months later, the government has to have a discussion in the parliament, and a law was voted less than 6 months after the beginning of this fight. So in France now, it's completely forbidden to go on for fracking because this is not a sure way to go on, and there's so many problems with chemicals, with water, and with also with what's going to get out, and the fact that they are not going to limit the climate change with that because we're going to put more and more methane, because there's between 4 and 8% of the gas, the methane gas, goes out.
Just pause
so
there.
It's very dangerous.
Just pause there, José. We'll check on that in a moment with Robert Gatlin. But what you're saying is not just that natural gas, when you burn it, is a glow produces CO2. It also has a lot of methane in it, or it can do. I mean, that some places it doesn't seem to contain any methane at all. It is possible to get that out of the system, isn't it?
No, it's not possible because what the gas which is getting out is methane. So we know that this is more dangerous for climate change than other kind of gas. But what I think is important is that there was a very huge mobilization, and now if you ask the French people, as a lot of people in Germany or in other countries, in Bulgaria or in Romania or in Holland also, people refuse completely because they want to keep pure water, and they refuse completely to have their environmental houses being destroyed by this finding of shale gas.
Okay, Mr. Bové, thank you. Sorry, go on, finish.
And that is just one. That's why I'm coming to in UK and in Belcombe on Saturday and Sunday to gather the people and to struggle together against Total.
Right. Thank you very much for that contribution, José Bové. Robert Gatlin, as I say, is from the British Geological Society, Director of Energy Marine Geoscience. Robert, first of all, contamination of water supplies. This is presumably because there's a huge amount of water waxed down these holes in order to do the fracking, and it picks up quite a lot of stuff on the way. Is that why it's contaminating?
Well, no. I think the people talk about contamination is that the fluid that would be pushed in goes into rocks and may escape and get into aquifers.
Right.
But I think there's been quite a lot of research on that now, and there's a lot of experience in America where if you drill properly and you control it and monitor, you can probably control it.
But it's
and I think that's where we've got to go. If this is going to work, you've got to be able to demonstrate that you are not contaminating.
Right. Is the water which is used in this process necessarily contaminated? And what happens to it then if it doesn't get into the local suppliers?
There's two things. They try and use relatively clean water to inject, but then they add chemicals to help keep the fractures open. You have to ask someone else about those chemicals, but I think there are strict controls on what they can use. And the second part is how they react with the rocks when they're down there, and when the water comes back. And for that, we're doing research on what the actual rock-water interactions are now.
Our last correspondent mentioned methane, which certainly in some of the fracking that's going on in America, there are large quantities of methane produced, and that actually is quite a dangerous warming gas, doesn't it? It has quite a dramatic impact.
Yes, well, the methane is what they're going for, because that's natural gas. So the trick is to find out whether you're actually releasing it into the atmosphere or whether you're controlling it and it's only going into the borehole. And for that, you do need monitoring. And one of the things that we're doing at the moment is monitoring for the background methane that leaks naturally, so that you can have an indication of whether you're increasing or as if fracking carries on.
Right. So, I mean, I can concede my total ignorance of matters scientific, but it's just a matter of capturing it all then. It's not necessarily a problem that there are a lot of methane is fine if you get it all.
Well, you're still going to burn it and you're going to make CO2, and that's going to have an impact on the atmosphere, but we do that anyway. You know, we're bringing in gas, we're producing gas, it's short supply. It's a balance, isn't it, as to whether you want to burn the gas or not.
Is it possible for you to say whether, on balance, you think this is something we should pursue, that we can pursue without great environmental damage, or is it too early to say?
I think it's too early to say. I think we've got to do research, we've got to do some trial exploration holes. I think they should be done as openly as possible with full monitoring by independent scientists and actually look and see what happens.
Yeah. So, are you happy with the way that we're proceeding with this then? Because you seem to be kind of saying, gosh, look at America, isn't it great, and going rather pell-mell after this.
Well, I'm not sure that we'll go pell-mell here. I think there'll be some boreholes drilled if we can get that social license and permission to do it. And then we have to monitor and we see, and there's a good chance that our shales won't produce as much gas to make them economic as the American ones. Our rocks are slightly different. They've got more fractures in. They've got different facies. We've got to look at those, and we're doing that now. And there's a whole load of new research going on. We've just set up a new PhD program to train people in actually understanding shales in the UK, because it's not something that we've looked at for many years.
I always got the impression that this has been going on for long enough in America. Everybody knew what they were doing, but
I think they do now. I don't think they did when they started, but I think they do now.
Right. So, on balance, give it time, and then after